Everything's looking pretty good. I do have one other leak that I discovered over here on this petcock, so I'm going to have to deal with that. I'm not sure if it's leaking at the petcock itself or where it actually seals up on the tank, but anyway, I guess it's time for the moment of truth. Oh, hey guys, welcome back to the Hands-On channel. Today we're going to see if all my hard work has paid off. I spent the better part of a day putting these carburetors back on, and it wasn't the front part, putting them into the head, that was the hard part. It was getting the rubber boots that connect the air box to the entrance of the carburetor, the intake of the carburetor. And so I struggled with that. I mean, to the point where my fingers are all sore from trying to mash that rubber around and get it in there, but I finally got it in. I got it all back together, and I guess it's time for the moment of truth. Let's see what we see. All right, I ain't gonna lie to you. I fired it up off camera. I couldn't wait. I showed my wife, but seems to be running pretty decent. I think I've got it idling a little high. I think I'm out of gas. Let me flip over to reserve here. Well, I think I'm going to have to pour a little more gas in it right quick. All right, time for take two. I did add a little bit more fuel to it, and you can probably see I've got a rag sitting right here because I've got a steady drip of fuel coming out here, and I've also got a little bit of fuel coming out of the what I'm going to call the bowl overflow tubes. And I don't know if that means if my floats are set the wrong way or what, but I sure hope not, because that means I'd have to take the whole carburetor unit off again to set those floats. But for now, it is running, and it seems like it's not leaking down there whenever the bike is running. So I don't know if you can see that puddle I'm cleaning up down here, but we're just doing that to be safe. And I may have to end up taking these off again, and I don't really want to do that, but you know, sometimes that's the way it goes. Put the charger back on just so we can make sure we got plenty of power. And let's hear how it runs. And again, since I changed out those O-rings on that fuel rail, I've got no leaks coming from there, so I definitely made an improvement. It sounds like it's running pretty good. Although I'm getting a little bit of backfire through the exhaust, and it's actually shooting a little flame out, so I'm not sure what that means. Seems like to me that would mean it's running a little too rich. So it's alive! I mean, it sounds pretty good. Seems to be idling okay, although I've noticed it'll kind of drop down. It'll idle a little bit high, and then it'll kind of drop down to right there, and that's a little too low. Let me bump it up a little. Like right there. See, I'm not seeing anything pouring out when the bike is running. I'm not seeing anything coming out down here at the bottom. So I'm not sure what that means. I think it means I've either got a stuck float or my floats are set at the wrong level. But I mean, it's snappy, instant throttle response. So I think before I run out of fuel again, I'm gonna button it up and we'll shut it off here. Let's just check the restart right quick. Oh man, not even one revolution. That's what I'm talking about. This thing fires right up. So whatever it is, I don't think it's major. Hopefully I won't have to take those carburetors off again, because man, that was a real pain in the butt to do it and just to get everything back together. Somebody pointed out, when I put up the rebuild video, somebody pointed out that I put that T-rail on the wrong direction, and they're right about that, I did. But before I put it back together, I made sure that the hose was still gonna reach, and it actually worked out great. And there was nothing in there that was gonna rub up against the hose or anything, so. Woo! See, that's what I'm talking about. Y'all can't see it on this side, but. Oh, I don't know if you saw that, but it's shooting like a 6-inch flame out of the exhaust when it does that. So I'm not sure what's going on there. Probably a tuning issue. Probably the carburetors need to be synchronized, but I actually don't have the kit for that. So I'm either gonna have to do it with one gauge and try to synchronize the carburetors with the one vacuum gauge that I have, or I'm gonna have to buy a sync kit just so that I can do that. But okay, so I'm gonna shut it off for now. I'm gonna turn the camera off for a minute. We're gonna button everything up, and I'm gonna see if I can take this thing down the road, and we'll see how it goes. So here's what we got so far. From my first ride, I'm getting a little bit of bogging when I first get into it, and then once the RPMs build up a little bit, then it revs right up like it's supposed to. So I'm not exactly sure what's going on. I think it's probably just a carburetor sinking issue. I don't know. If you have more experience with this than I do, please let me know down in the comments. But that put a smile on my face, and I just love the sound of those inline fours when they rev up to about 10 or 12,000 RPMs. It's just awesome. So I'm gonna let you guys go, and I'm gonna go run up and down the street until the neighbors get mad or until the cops get called or whatever. We're gonna go twist some throttle. So, we're pouring out. Gotta shut down. Gas is pouring out down there. And that was with it running. So I'm thinking I must have a float that's out of adjustment or something like that, but it's at least able to run me down the road. And so that may be it for the riding today, because I don't want to burn this thing up. But it's coming out of those overflow tubes. So if you got any advice for me, please let me know down in the comments. And until then, we'll see you next time.